Hello, welcome to my channel, and today we will talk about George Martin books. So first of all, I will say about what I don't like in his books. I like his books a lot, but some points I quite don't like. First of all, I don't like that the evil has won in this series. You see, we don't have two other books, and if we will not have them, I mean Winds of Winter and Dreams of Spring, so in that case we have that the evil has won. Well, Lannisters defeated Starks. Lannisters now are in... Well, they just have won, okay? And it is maybe the first problem that... Well, I don't know. So if you're honorable man, if you take your word, if you justify man, if you don't like evil, so in this case you will win, or you will lose. And if you Lannister, if you can broke your oath, broke your word, if you are cruel, if you don't have any pity, so you will win. And maybe I don't like this. The second, Martin's meet Grinder, change through suffering. Well, you see, if you some Martin character, for example, Jaime Lannister or Tyrion Lannister or Sam Tarly, so you will... And if Martin want to change you, so Martin will do a lot of cruel things with a character. I mean that he will... Well, this man's character, they are... Well, something like a mid-grinder. So to be another man, you have to endure a lot of suffering, and I don't quite like it. All that suffering and all that pain. They're free. Well, Khal Drogo and Robert Baratheon, they both slept with very young girls. Well, Khal Drogo and Daenerys Targaryen, well, Daenerys was 13, and Khal Drogo was maybe 30, and Robert Baratheon, he slept with a girl very young, and Eddard Stark didn't want to think how young she was. So it's kind of problem for me. The fourth, well, he doesn't make a story when we have, well, POV, point of view. So, for example, well, Eddard Stark knows who is Jon Snow's father and mother. We have his chapters. So why don't we know who is, well, Jon Snow's parents? You see, well, if we know everything that knows, well, character, so we should know everything that what he knows. So if we have chapter of Eddard Stark, so we should know everything what Eddard Stark knows. Okay? And it is kind of, well, I don't know, not very good for me. If the character knows something, so we should know this thing. It's, well, it is, well, about point of view. So if you have your point of view, so we know everything what you know. So why don't Martin say us anything about, well, this point of view? The next, well, the plot in the last two books, well, kind of, it is not developing. I mean, well, we have a lot of plot lines, a lot of characters, but we don't know what happened with Stannis Baratheon and Winterfell, and we don't know what happened with Jon Snow and Winterfell. Well, this Battle of Bastards, and we don't know what in the city of Meereen. So we have 3 checkpoints, very important things, and we don't have any conclusion for them. It's like in the first book we know everything. Well, every plot line was ended. For example, Eddard Stark was executed, and Robb Stark was proclaimed as a king, and so on and so on. But in the last 2 books we don't have it. We just don't have ending. Jon Snow and Daenerys storyline, unrelated to the War of Five Kings, feel disconnected from the main plot of the series and seems a bit secondary. I mean that we have Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen, yes? Both of them. And they don't have they didn't act in the main series. So why do we need them? Why do we need Sam Tarly or Jon Snow or Daenerys Targaryen? They are just wandering somewhere in Essos, somewhere in the north, in the far north, somewhere in other land. And you see, I don't understand how do they connect it. How do they connect with the main heroes? So maybe it would be interesting to read without their chapters, just because I'm not quite interested in them. Well, if they go to the books, to the main seasons, not to the main seasons, to the main books, if we have the 6th and the 7th books, so I could understand, okay, we have Daenerys Targaryen and she is cooperating with other guys, but now she is just far away. We don't need her in plot of the War of Five Kings. Well, I don't quite like how Martin can't stop talking about Daenerys' genitals. Well, yet one problem, adding and adding new characters and new plot lines. Well, a lot of Greyjoys, a lot of young Grief, and a lot of Brianna Tart and other characters. Why do we need all of them? I need plot developing, not a lot of new characters. The pacing of 4th and 5th books. Well, the 1st, the 2nd and the 3rd books have strong and good development and good ending. Well, beginning, middle, end. But in the last 2 books we don't have ending. We have a very slow pace, very slow. We in A Dance of Dragon, I don't know. It is very slow book. It's about world building, it's about character developing, but not about the plot. And the last, maybe it's not quite medieval. Well, I don't see here a lot of, well, I don't see here a lot of, there's not a lot of influence, church influence, or I don't know, this Arya Stark, she supposed to be a wife of one of Walder Frey, but not the one who will gain the castle, okay? Some others. So Arya Stark is very good price, and she can be a wife for man who will rule of a castle. And why Robb Stark didn't like to marry this one of Frey maiden? Because it's lands. It's about lands, it's about power. It's not about love. So, oh, and yet one point. Well, I don't like, and you see, I don't quite like how George Martin changed his views on his books. Well, you see, in the first book we have prophecy about Daenerys, that she went to the west and to the east, and she come back from the west. So she turned this globe, well, planetus. It has never happened. And then we had some hints that Joffrey and Robb Stark will fight in a battle. It never happened. Well, we have some predictions that Jaime Lannister will be a king. It never happened. Maybe I would like that we have all that predictions in the end of books. And yet one thing. Okay, thank you for your attention.